Alright guys, starting another video on lists, and this is list overlap. Let's see. This link here is where I got the assignment, again from this website. You can check it out if you want to. I also gave you the same link that shows you the methods for working on a list. That's the next link. I will post the YouTube video below, so you'll have a link to that as well. Alright, let's get started. We'll read the instructions and we'll see if we can get this taken care of. It says, take two lists and write a program that returns a list that contains only elements that are in common. So basically we're going to take these two lists of numbers. We're going to check and see if the number's on both of the lists, and if it is, it's going to put it onto another list, and we don't want any duplicates. So there's a couple of things that we have to make sure we do. We need to make sure we don't put duplicates on there. So on list A, it has the number 1, and it's there twice. So on our final list that we make, we do not want to have duplicates. We only want to have a single instance of it. It says make sure your program works on lists of different sizes. So when we do this, it needs to work no matter how big the list actually is. And so we might have to do some tinkering, but we can probably figure it out. Okay, so let's start off with take two lists, write a program that returns a list that contains only elements that are in common. Okay, so we'll say for x in A. So that is going to our list A, and it's going to grab each element and it's going to do something to it. Well, let's start by just printing it. So it's going to go to list A, and it's going to print each item out. Okay, so now let's say if the item here is also in this list, list B. So for x in A, let's see, if x in B, I think this is right, print x. So if x is also in B, print it out. Let's see if that works. Ha, it did. Okay, so first off, we went to the list and we printed each item out one at a time. Or we checked them first. We checked. Okay, so let's write a comment here so we can see what we're doing. Check elements in list A is element also in list B. Okay, so we got two lists. First we go to the first one and we say, is it inside of list B? Yes. If it is, print it out. Boom, got it. All right, so we've already established these are the numbers that are similar, or they appear in both lists. And then all we're doing right now is just printing it out. So we're on track. We also need to put, instead of just printing it out, we want to actually put the number into another list. So let's make another list. We'll call this list C, and we'll make this list empty. It's got nothing in it, but we created it. So instead of just printing it out, let's put it into list C. So if X is also in B, then we want to take that and put it into C. So we're going to say C dot append, and you're probably wondering, where did I get this? If I can spell it right. and then we're going to append X. So how did I know to do that? Well, that's this link here that I sent you. It's got the functions we can use, or the methods that we can use to add lists or add items or remove items, etc. So basically all I'm doing is adding that item to the list. So it's just going to take that item and add it to it. Okay, so instead of printing it out, we're going to add it to list C. I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'll put a comment here. Add to list C. Okay, so it's going to check list A. Is the element also in list B? And if it is, we're going to add it to C. And then, so that's going to run through this. It's going to check them, see if it's in there, and add it to there. And if it, and it's just going to add them all onto list C, but we need to see what's actually on list C. So let's do print C. That's going to print this list here afterwards. So run. So it ran through A, checked it with B, and every time it found a match, it put it into list C. All right. Now it's clearly working for lists on 2 different sizes, I think, because it found the last number here, so that works. I wonder if we put like a larger number at the end. Yeah, it should work in both cases. So now all we need to do is remove this duplicate here. So what can we do to actually make sure that we don't put duplicates on the list? Well, this first one checks list A, and then the second one checks list B, but we're also making a list C here. So we don't want to add the number to the list if it's already on list C. So as we start out, it's going to go through the list. It's going to say 1, and it's going to add it to list C because it checks the first element. It is in list B, so then it wants to add it to C. So then it does. Well, we want to also check and see, make sure it's not in list C. Okay. So then what we can do is say if X, and then we want to say not in C. I think you can just do not in, I don't know, we'll have to find out, not in C. Then we want to add it. If it's, this might not be the right way to write this, but we'll find it out. It's basically what I'm trying to say is if X is not in C, then add it to the list. This is going to mess up, but I'm going to do it anyway. We'll try it. And I'll write my comment, what I'm trying to do. If X is not, then we can add. So it should start out blank, and then it should add it. Let's see this error. Yeah. Let's see if I can figure this out right quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, it says if it's not in C, so exclamation mark says not, but you can't really add it like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if it's in C, we're going to do nothing. Else, which means it's not in C, else we will add it. So we will do this. We'll put this here. Okay. So I'll comment this out. If this gives me an error, then we'll just print. But okay, so let's follow our logic here. It says check each item in list A and look at list B. If it's in list B, is it also in list C? If it, okay, so let me change this comment. So if X is in C, is it also in list C? If it is, we're not going to do anything. Otherwise, that means it's not in list C already, and then we're going to add it to list C. Let's see if this gives us an error. It might give us an error because of 1718 has nothing. Yes, it does. So let's just print X and see. There we go. All right, so the duplicates, we could say duplicate found. Duplicate found, comma. And it's going to tell us what's the duplicate. So there we go. It found duplicate 1. And it removed it from the list for us. Okay, so just to briefly recap again, got our lists. We're going to check we're going through our list, and we're checking the first element here, which is 1. Is 1 also inside of B? Yes, it is. So it wants to add it to the list, but is it already in the list? Is it in the list already? No, it's not. If X is, so then it's not, so then it's going to add it. This means it is not already in the list. This means it is already in the list. Okay. I don't know if that's confusing or not. We're going to the list, checking each item if it is in the list. First, this one's checking to see if it is not in there, and then it's putting it in, and then this one's checking to see if it's a duplicate, and if it is, it prints out, I found a duplicate. Otherwise, it adds it to the list. Alright, so, I don't know, that's how you would accomplish this one. It's not too bad, I guess, but I don't know, kind of fun. Alright, so that should be the end of the video, guys. What I want you to do is take a screenshot of your completed work and make sure you turn in a link. You can use different numbers on your list and try different things. If you find something that doesn't work, like maybe one of the lists, if you make it super long and one super short and it doesn't work, send me a comment or something and we'll check it out. But other than that, you guys be safe. Have a good day.